Welcome to Geeky Girls Knit. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Damaris, and I got a haircut.
What are you also known as?
Damaris dash, a bit weird.
And that's so true.
I got a haircut, though.
You did get a haircut. I did too, but you can't tell. Because I have this big old headband on. This is episode 23, and today is Wednesday, January the 30th. Already a month. Almost gone in the new year.
Nope.
Yep. Alright, I think we're ready to get started. Yes?
Nope.
Well, we're getting started anyway, so here we go.
So we're going to talk about what's on our needles. I still have my socks, but I'm working on the leg, and then in a few minutes I'm about to start on the cuff, okay?
So, you're making progress.
Yes, they will be finished by tomorrow. Maybe they'll be finished today.
So she's working hard, Enid. She's worked hard all week on them. In case you missed it, in last week's episode, Damaris was issued a challenge by one of our viewers, Enid, to finish these socks by tomorrow, which is January 31st. So she has been working very hard on them all week. And she's doing really well. What needles?
Size 4, 3.5.
5
I knew that.
millimeters. What about your yarn?
Brava
Sport
in Rouge.
in Rouge. And it's just our 2 at a time toe-up sock pattern from our local yarn shop.
That's the heel.
All right. Knit. So she's been working hard on this week. I have a couple of projects that I'm working on this week. I finished section 1 of the Junction Shawl by Lee Meredith Lethal. This one is for, I did one of these for myself back in October and November, and this one is for my mother-in-law. So this is section 1. It looks like a big wing. And I just finished that last night. This is on US 5s, 3.75 millimeters in Knit Picks Comfy Fingering Weight yarn. The brown is called Bison, and the pink is called Peony. So I am ready now to start on section 2 of 5. So I'm making progress on that. That one takes a lot more of my mind energy to be able to knit, and so it's not mindless to knit. The other thing that's on my needles is a, at this point, unnamed baby blanket design project that I'm started. And it's also on US 5s, 3.75 millimeters. And, okay, this is the first section.
That's a light green.
Yes, I did not even write down what kind of yarn this is. What I'm doing is pulling leftover soft yarns from my stash that I've had used in other projects to try to use it up. And so I started with that green, and then I bound off there. And then I picked up stitches along the bottom, and I'm going in the other direction with this kind of orangey.
It's not salmon.
No, it's not salmon. It's not really in the pink family, but it's more of an orangey. And so it's a 36 row repeat. So when I finish that, I probably will go this direction. So, but I'm just kind of picking out soft yarns that I have left over in baby colors. We have several friends that are expecting or hoping to be expecting this year, so I thought this would be a good way to use up some of my stash. And it's not a very difficult pattern at all, because it's just knits and purls to make the kind of cool design. So I started on this on Monday, and so that is what's on my needles. That's everything on my needles. I don't even have socks on my needles. I probably will cast some on, though.
Yeah.
Because I always have socks going. All right, so I think we're ready to move to the next segment. All right, and now we are going to talk about our finished projects. Damaris was trying on her socks between segments, and they're looking good. She's just making them a little bit taller. So she doesn't have a finished project this week, but she will have one for next week.
2, if you want to be technical about it.
Yes, 1, 2.
Hey.
I do have a finished project. Ooh, look, it's like peering up from the bottom. This is, okay, what I did was I took Laura Linneman's Afterthought heel sock pattern and kind of merged it with our 2 at a time toe-up sock pattern from our local yarn shop, because I wanted to put in different kind of heels this time, because I was using 2 different kinds of yarn. These are both leftover yarns. The toes and heels and cuffs are in
Regia something.
Regia hand dye effect in balloon, and the foot and the leg are in Regia random stripe in sizzle. So this is the finished project.
And we have to take pictures of them. I just realized that.
Yeah, we do. So I wanted to be able to have a more significant heel that I did in the last pair of socks, where I did a different color yarn for the toe, heel, and cuff. So I did the Afterthought heel this time, and I think it turned out pretty well. My biggest problem was this, the yarn that I used for the cuff and the heel and the toe has got it's pinks and oranges. It kind of fades back and forth between pinks and oranges in color, but it's got a white thread that's wrapped all the way around it, and it kept splitting so badly that I kept having problems with it. So I was thankful to be done with that. But other than that, the pattern went really well, and I'm really pleased with it. You can see that I did a little bit of the leg in that balloon color because I ran out of the sizzle and they weren't as tall as I wanted them. So, and then for the cuff I did ribbing of knit one through the back loop, purl one, and then did Jenny's super stretchy bind off for the cuff, and they fit really well. I tried them on and then I put them on blockers so I could show y'all. So that's another pair of socks finished for me. They're a picture frame.
They're not picture frame, they're socks.
Hello. Hello. So, another pair of socks done. I'm excited about them.
I'm trying not to stab myself with my needles.
And don't stab me either, please. So we will photograph these. We need to also photograph Lola's hat.
Yes.
So I need to do some photographs for my Ravelry project pages. That's what I finished this week, without breaking a needle again, which was positive.
Production for the BBC.
How did I know you were going to say that?
We just don't know.
All right, so let's move on to our next segment. Damaris keeps hiding out of the frame.
I do.
That's not very nice. So now it is time for my favorite segment of our show, Yummies. Even after 23 episodes, she still doesn't like this segment title. So this is where we talk about our current favorite things that make us happy right now, new things we've gotten into our lives this week. So Damaris, it's not Valentine's Day yet, but yet you've already received your Valentine's Day present from me and your daddy.
Why? We just don't know.
I couldn't wait once it arrived. I thought it was going to take longer to arrive than it actually did. So, show us what you got.
It's a bag. You can see that. It has a strap. What is on the bag? Okay. Oh yes. Oh yes. It's a TARDIS bag.
So it's a messenger style bag, but it's a small one. And I think it's adorable. Do you like it?
Yes. No, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I was being sarcastic, Mom.
I know you were. I got this off of Etsy. I'll link the shop in the show notes. But it was called Dareware by Nannyware. Is what the shop was called. So, and it was reasonably priced. I was pleased. But I thought this would be a cool little bag. For when you're not taking your knitting with you, you just need to take like your phone and stuff.
Hmm.
Do you have anything to say about it?
Warp.
I'm sorry, sound effects are not included. You should attach your little plush TARDIS to it so that you can make it warp.
But the sign doesn't warp. This is the sign.
I know, but it would still be cool, I think.
Sign doesn't warp.
You're crazy. Anything else yummy that you would like to talk about individually before I do my individual yummies, before we do our joint yummies? You got a haircut?
Yeah, I did. And I discovered that a hairdryer is actually useful.
I've been trying to convince her of this for a long time.
I just don't like using hairdryers. I've always just let my hair dry. But then when I cut it short, you have to use a hairdryer so you can style it.
Yes.
But you don't have to use a hairdryer to style your longer hair.
Not necessarily, but some people do.
Yes.
Yes.
Here we go.
All right. And who did we model this hairstyle after?
Carrie Mulligan.
From?
Well, she's from lots of things, but I know her from Doctor Who. When she was blonde and had long hair.
She was in what episode?
Blink.
Yes.
In 2007.
But now she has short hair. And styles it lots of ways. Alright. Well, I got a new project bag this week. I had some birthday money that was...
Her birthday was in October.
That I had not spent yet. And I came across this bag and fell in love with it. Okay, it's coffee cups. But it says, "Will knit for coffee."
Didn't it have your name on it?
No.
I thought it had your name on it.
No. It just says, "Will knit for coffee." And it's a drawstring bag. It's a pretty good size. I have the baby blanket I'm working on in it right now. And I also got this on Etsy. Galliana Creations. I'll link it in the show notes. But I love the fabric because it's got a lot of pink and brown in it, which I love pink and brown together.
And blue.
It's got blue. Blue's okay. But I like the pink and brown together, and I love the Will Knit for Coffee. So this is my new.
You can tell that she loves pink and brown because she's wearing pink and brown.
And pink pants.
Okay, they don't want to see your pants.
Pink yoga pants. My favorite pants. They're so comfy. What else? Okay, so I've been watching this show on...
Canada.
Yes, it is about Canada. I was going to say on Netflix streaming.
We've been going to Canada and watching it.
No, I've been streaming it on Netflix. And it's apparent. I thought it was off the air, but apparently it's still airing. So they're coming out with new seasons of it. It's called Murdoch Mysteries, and it's set in the 1890s, and it's a Canadian show as well, but it's also set in Canada.
Oh, Canada.
And it is about this police detective who uses forensic techniques before their time. So he's like he invents things and is very creative, or
He's very unorthodox.
he is very unorthodox. He does a lot of studying.
I like using that word.
He does a lot of studying to learn about new techniques and things and makes them work. I'm in the, I think, second season now. Yeah, I think middle of the second season. And they've had a couple of episodes that have had Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in them. Somebody portraying him, obviously. But, so that's been kind of fun to watch that, because I'm reading Sherlock stuff with Damaris right now.
Arthur Conan Doyle is Scottish.
So, if you have Netflix streaming, you might want to check it out. It is I wouldn't watch it with younger children because it does have, it shows like the,
Is like Sherlock.
well, but no, I was trying to say, who's the person that does the autopsies?
Coroner?
Yes, it shows, I think that's right.
I'll look it up.
Like Ducky on NCIS.
Yeah. Autopsy guy?
No, it's a lady.
Oh, autopsy lady?
Which is also unorthodox in 1890. But it shows, like, body organs and blood and such. So, just be aware of that.
I'm looking
And it
up.
has had a couple controversial issues. I would watch it with Damaris, but she is usually in bed when I watch it, just because I watch stuff late at night.
Now I'm looking up controversial instead of coroner. It's your fault.
Oops. Coroner. I think that's right.
I'm sorry, my phone.
The autopsy person. Yes.
Yes?
Yes. That's right. That's who it is. It's a coroner. Okay, so that's my other individual yummy for this week, but now we have some joint yummies. So what have we watched this week, Damaris?
Disney movies.
More. We're on a theme.
Okay, so
My phone is making
we
noises.
watched the Tigger movie.
And the Tigger movie,
Okay.
here's trivia for you.
Tell them.
Okay, the Tigger movie came out in 2000, in spring of 2000. Damaris was born in fall of 1999, and the very first movie that we ever took her with us to the movie theater to see was the Tigger movie. And she laughed and thought it was funny and giggled and
Okay.
then went to sleep.
Okay.
I think we're freezing. We might want to stop and then finish the rest of the segment.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. We had a little technical glitch, but we're back. Okay, so we were talking about the Tigger movie.
Yes,
We sang a bunch of the songs.
we did.
Yes.
I thought we sang songs in Robin Hood.
Yes, we also watched Robin Hood, but we did sing about Tigger. The most wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things.
The top's a made of the river, the bottom's made of springs, the bouncy, trouncy, bouncy, pouncy,
Fun,
fun,
fun, fun, fun, fun. But the most wonderful things about Tiggers is I'm the only one. I'm the only one. We like to sing. We also sang Robin Hood.
Yes.
Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest. Okay, and what other Disney movie did we watch this week? Her very favorite movie.
Yes. The Little Mermaid 2. Yes.
But what's the subtitle? Return into the Sea?
Yes.
Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. If you've never watched it.
It was my favorite movie ever, and it's the only one we don't have a DVD of, which is weird, because it's my favorite one.
Yeah, we had it on VHS, and then it was like in the vault, I guess, and was not released on DVD. So, we've been reliving childhood and watching lots of Disney movies.
Yes. Now, and I wonder why Melody isn't an official Disney princess, because she is a princess.
I don't know. Alright, so now here's your spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear about today's Cabin Pressure episode, fast forward into the next segment or something, because we're about to talk about Cabin Pressure 3.4, Walkingham.
Wokingham.
Wokingham.
Not Walkingham.
Wokingham.
Wokingham?
Whoa.
Okay.
This one was not as funny as last week.
Yeah, this...
This was a more subdued.
Yes. It had Martin's family in it.
Simon.
Has a mustache.
That's his brother.
And apparently is a little taller than Martin because he can lift him up.
And fly him like an airplane.
Which Martin gets really frustrated at.
And then his sister.
Caitlin.
And his mother.
Wendy.
Who did not have a heart attack.
Nope. No, she was very clear. She did not have a heart attack. I have a sort of hypocritical question.
Okay.
No, that was a line.
Oh. I thought
He
you
meant
were...
to say hypothetical. I only realized
Oh.
that. I have a sort of hypocritical question.
I thought you were saying that you really had a hypocritical question.
I don't remember what hypocrite means. hypocritical means?
Look it up in your dictionary.
Is it like unorthodox?
No. Look it up in your dictionary, because you'll remember it if you look it up yourself, instead of me telling you.
She used to just tell me the definition to words, but then she started making me look them up.
Yes. So, yeah, it was a good episode. It just was not as funny as last week.
Yeah, every series has that one episode. It's like, it's good, but it's not as good as the rest of them.
And that was this one.
Oh, and I also got to tell Simon about the time Martin landed the plane on one engine.
Yes, they were trying to impress Simon.
After a bird strike. Oh, Simon has a mustache.
You already said that.
I did.
Yes.
It's a big mustache.
So next week is episode 3.5.
We're not sure how you pronounce this.
This is our guess, because it's Xinzhou.
I think it's Zinzhu.
Zinzhu.
It's in China.
So that's our guess of how you pronounce it. So.
And the teaser for next week is like, it's cold, it's dark, and there's no food. What better time for Gertie to fall to bits?
Gertie's the plane, if you don't know that.
Yes. Golf Echo Romeo Tango India.
Okay. And it's the next to last episode of this series.
Mm-hmm. Not these series, but this series.
Yes, this series.
And also,
which is like American seasons, if you don't know that.
And also, Radio 4 blacked out on us for a bit, and we didn't get to hear some parts of the episode.
Yeah, we had a couple of blackouts for just like 20, 30 seconds, but when it's only like 25 minutes long, that's significant.
Yes, I don't know if it was your computer or Radio 4 or something else.
I'm not sure either, but we will download the episode and listen to it again, because Russ wasn't listening with us today, so we'll have to listen to it again.
And we didn't get to hear about Martin's date. Tell us.
I know, I was really hoping to find out how his date with the princess went.
Maybe they'll tell us in Zinzhu.
Maybe so.
Finnemore, tell me your secrets.
But they've already recorded, so if he didn't, this is not helping.
What?
Asking him to tell you after they've already recorded is not going to help, because they've already recorded.
It's just secrets. I'm jealous of the people that got to go to the recordings.
Yes.
You people.
Alright, are we ready to move to the next segment?
No, I'm still on Martin and Teresa's date.
It went fabulous. I heard. Martin called me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We're all good.
I'm Princess Teresa of Liechtenstein. That's the worst accent I've ever done. Oh my God. Okay, we can go now.
Cut, Damaris.
Okay, now we're going to talk about what books we're reading and what TV we're watching.
Yes.
I'm still reading that book I was reading last week, Mismatched by Aaron Mangum.
But you're almost done with it, because we're starting Sherlock on Friday.
Yes.
We're going to be reading what next in Sherlock?
The Sign of the Four. Or The Sign of Four. I don't remember.
And that's one of the novels, right? Okay. Not one of the short story collections. Okay, I've read a lot this week. I got all the books from the library by Madeleine L'Engle of her Austen family series. So this week I read Meet the Austens, The Moon by Night, and The Young Unicorns, which was nothing about unicorns, which totally threw me, because one of the other books she wrote was about unicorns. So I was waiting for the unicorns, but there were no unicorns.
Did you understand the significance of the title after you read all the book?
No.
Were there any young people?
Yes, there was young people, but no young unicorns. No unicorns at all.
And
there was a genie, but no unicorns.
Any mentions of unicorns?
No. Unless I missed it. But
Maybe you were sleepy.
But you would think with the title, that being the title, it would be more significant than that.
Google it.
I probably will. What else am I reading? I started last night Gretchen Rubin's Happy You're at Home, Kiss More, Jump More, Abandon a Project, Read Samuel Johnson, and My Other Experiments in the Practice of Everyday Life. So here's the cover. Oops. This is by the same woman who wrote the Happiness Project about 5 years ago. And I read that and really loved it. So, in fact, I checked that out of our local library on my Kindle.
You're pushing me out of my seat. Stop.
I'm also reading Brene Brown's The Gifts of Imperfection.
She has a PhD and an LMSW, whatever that is.
Social work. The Gifts of Imperfection, let go of who you think you're supposed to be and embrace who you are, your guide to a wholehearted life. And I've heard her speak before. She's from Houston, and we lived in Houston for a couple of years, and I heard her speak, and she writes some wonderful stuff. And my friend Nikki let me borrow this book, and so I am reading it this week. It's not very long, but it's got lots of stuff in it. Jam-packed episode. Not really, it's a jam-packed book. So I guess we're ready to start on TV.
Okay.
Alright, here we go.
Go now.
First up is Arrow, episode 1.11, Trust But Verify. So, the premise of this episode was pretty much about these armored cars. Well, I guess they're armored trucks. They're not cars. But they're called armored cars. Why that?
We just don't know.
It's the same reason you drive on a parkway and park on a driveway.
What's a parkway?
It's a highway. Anyway, Arrow. So these armored cars are being robbed, and
No, that must be a lot of money.
it was. Stargate's Ben Browder guest starred in this episode. He was a bad guy. He played Diggle's former commanding officer in the military. Diggle is Oliver Green Arrow's kind of assistant bodyguard guy, whatever. I don't know what they call him. But it turns out that his commanding officer was in on this, and they tried to make Diggle be in on it by kidnapping his sister-in-law. And Green Arrow came in at the last minute and saved everything. Just like always. The other kind of part of the story was that it was Thea's 18th birthday. Thea is Oliver's sister. And her mom buys her a car for her birthday, but she thinks that her mom and Tommy's dad is Barrymore.
Barrymore?
Barrowman.
Barrowman.
What, Barrymore? Barrowman. Sorry, my brain's not working today. She thinks they're having an affair, and she gets very upset at her birthday party and takes some drugs that her friends gave her and is in a bad car accident. And at the end of the episode, she's arrested for having drugs in her system. And we see more of Barrowman being really bad. He's such a mean guy. Don't like him at all. And then we also saw some more flashbacks to the island, to where the guy that was helping him on the island before, now it seems like he's part of this bad group on the island. So, a little confusing. Interested to see what happens tonight in episode 1.12, Vertigo. How was that for a segue?
Segue?
Yes, I'm interested to see what happens tonight in episode 1.12, Vertigo. I was segueing.
That's an Alfred Hitchcock film.
Yes, it is.
I think.
It is.
I don't know. I've never seen any Alfred Hitchcock films.
It's a really good one, actually. I've watched it.
I just know about I just know lots of titles of Alfred Hitchcock films because of First Officer Douglas Richardson's Cabin Address using 13 Alfred Hitchcock films.
From Cabin Pressure is what she's discussing. Okay, Merlin, episode 5.4, Another Sorrow.
Okay.
You gonna talk?
So, hold on. So basically, this guy, Odin, he's a bad guy. And not Odin from Norse mythology.
No.
No, not that Odin. Odin, a bad guy, I hate talking.
He's working with Morgana.
Yes, he is. And he and Morgana take over Nemeth, which is a kingdom.
Yes, where Princess
Mythian
is, and her father.
And her father. And
Morgana uses magic to make herself look like an old woman and goes with
Mythian to Camelot to persuade Arthur to rescue her father.
Yes.
Because Morgana made her do it.
Yes.
She doesn't want to.
No. Morgana is causing...
Evil.
Yeah, well, that too. But Morgana causes pain in her arm from this bracelet thing. It, like, burns her.
Yes.
When she doesn't do what she wants her to do. And, so they go travel to try to go rescue her father. And she gets away and writes Morgana on this stone and gets Merlin to go to where he sees her name.
And so Merlin's found out, and then Morgana almost kills Merlin with the... What?
Yeah, so Morgana almost killed Merlin, and I loved the part of the episode where Gaius is using magic to try to save Merlin. That was really cool. So
He's used magic before.
I know, but it was really cool. I liked it. So he saves him, and they go and rescue
Arthur and the knights who've been captured by Odin and his knights.
And then
Odin and Arthur make a truce.
They do.
Treaty. Which is because Odin killed Uther.
Yeah. And Arthur killed his son.
Yes.
And they decide, though, to put things aside and have peace in the land. And the next episode is episode 5.5.
The Disir.
The Disir.
I'm assuming that's how you say it.
D-I-S-I-R.
All these names sound French.
Yep. And it's going to be on Friday night. The 4th.
French.
February the 4th. Already February coming up.
Nope.
Yep. So then we have Bunheads, episode 1.14, The Astronaut and the Ballerina.
This one had Boo in it.
It did have Boo in it, and I like Boo. I was left with a lot of questions about this episode. In fact, if you're on the Bunheads group on Ravelry, I posted all my questions. My first question is, what's the deal with Jordan? He was like a jerk. Why is he teaching the class? Did we ever figure that out? He was teaching the ballet class, and that confused me. And he was a real jerk about it. And then another question is, they were talking about that Sasha is getting her own apartment. Well, she's only like 16 or 17. How is she getting her own apartment? Somebody on the Bunheads group said, well, it's her aunt's building, so maybe that's why. And it's TV. That's why. Why are Boo and Carl being parents to all those kids?
Because Boo's mom babysits them, but she's on bed rest.
I
so
know,
she
but
can't.
still, you would think that they would make other arrangements other than causing Boo and Carl to have to like completely take over and deal with everything. Is there like nobody else in the town who's willing to help? What other questions do I have? I know I had some other ones, but I can't remember them.
Boo was being all mom-like.
She was. I thought it was funny. Oh, another question. What is Jenny's going off the deep end? That whole spiel in the dance studio to where Frankie is sitting right there, and she's like, I only have like 3 or 4 years until I go completely mad, just like my mother, da-da-da-da-da. She was like going off the deep end. So what's up with her, other than her mother's driving her crazy about her dad getting remarried? I loved that they used Michelle's real-life brother to play her brother on Bunheads. That was really neat. One of my favorite lines was, genius is often touched with madness. It's what makes it fun.
Okay.
I liked that line. I thought it was funny. And then Michelle and Scotty, that's her brother, get in a big fight because of stuff that he's telling the girls, and something about he hid her ukulele from her for 20 years.
Sorry.
I thought it was really funny that Jenny's mom went off the deep end and threw punch on everybody at the wedding photo shoot. I shouldn't laugh because it's not really funny, but it was.
They were jumping on trampolines.
They were at the photo shoot. That's kind of bizarre. And Jenny is upset with Cosette for butting in on her friendships and her life. And, okay, so then Michelle and Scotty towards the end have like their big fight. And I love that Michelle has decided that Paradise is home. This is where she fits. This is her new life, and she likes it. And then it was so There was a funny line about square feet is the measurement of stability now. So apparently how many square feet you have to live in is what Scotty does stability about. And why is Mom hiding from the Jehovah's Witnesses? That was kind of funny, too. And
she threw a punch on.
No, this is a whole different mother. Michelle was playing the ukulele on the porch, and she and Scotty sang together, and that was really sweet. And then Jordan at the end trying to perfect his dance moves, and he says, "I'll be better after a banana."
She doesn't like bananas.
I don't. It's a texture issue for me.
But I love bananas. They're full of potassium.
And the doctor loves bananas.
I know, that's why I said they're full of potassium.
Okay, and then we have Continuum, episode 1.3, Wasting Time. Oh, I forgot. Bunheads 1.15, Take the Vicuna, I guess is how you say it. We'll be back next week. Continuum, episode 1.3, Wasting Time. We got some backstory. Liberate kills some people trying to produce a serum to save their leader. One of the guys in Liberate kind of helps Kira capture... Well, I guess he ended up dead, killing one of the members of Liberate, so there's only 5 of them left. And we were just given a lot of issues about the story in this episode. There was not huge, big stuff significantly happening. It was just a lot of information about, with this episode being only the 3rd episode in the series, we were kind of given information we needed. The very last thing at the end of the episode, she stole the piece from the police evidence locker that was missing from the technology ball thing that's supposed to send them back to the future. Not with Marty McFly. Just Back to the Future.
We don't have hoverboards yet.
No, we don't.
What is up with that?
Next up is episode 1.4, Matter of Time. Final thing to talk about in TV. NCIS episode 10.13, Hit and Run. Poor Abby. This was a tough episode for her. She was really struggling with trying to find a way of being not being good enough, and not being able to make everything better. And we got a huge part of her backstory of when she was a child, and she and her brother are solving this case. And
Luca, her adopted brother,
yeah.
Not her real brother.
No. Trying to solve this case and help this little girl and it's a whole racial issue, and Abby can't figure out why she can't fix it and make it better. It was a really sweet episode with McGee going to Abby and trying to help her when she was at the bingo parlor with the women, the old women and men, older women and men. And Gibbs at the very end of the episode I think we froze for a second.
We did.
Sorry. Gibbs at the very end of the episode talks to Abby about the first time they ever met, and Abby gave him her fortune, and the fortune said, "Today's new friend is tomorrow's family," which is true about this NCIS family. They really are family. So that was a pretty cool episode in finding out more about Abby. Next episode's 10.14, Canary, next week. And that's it for TV. It's trivia time! And we had 4 people get all 3 questions right last week. Enid, A1 Darwin, Angie Ship, and 4 Peanuts all got 3 entries into the 8 weeks, 8 questions, 1 winner giveaway. Last week's question was, in the new TV series Arrow, where are the exterior shots of the Queen Mansion shot? And the answer for that was, it was at Hatley Castle, which is in Colwood, British Columbia. And then the bonus questions were, what other TV show and what movie series have used the same location? Smallville used it as the exterior of Luther Mansion, and the X-Men series, X-Men and X-Men United, used it as Professor Xavier's Castle. So those 4 people got 3 more entries into the drawing, and we're ready for this week's question.
Okay, this is a Name This Classic movie.
Yes.
I'm excited about this.
Because it was when did it come out? Let's see.
1973.
Yes. So it's even older than me.
It's 4 years older than her.
So that might be a good clue for you to help you. 1973, name the movie that this quote's in.
He's so handsome, just like his reward posters.
So if you know the answer, email it to us or send me a private message on Ravelry and we will get you entered into the giveaway. Don't post it on the board. Nobody's done that. Well, we had one thing do that, but it was from the last giveaway. And nobody's done it again, so that's good. So, ask the question one more time.
He's so handsome, just like his reward posters.
So if you know what movie that line is from, send it to us and we'll get you entered in the giveaway. And that's a wrap for episode 23. I already forgot what episode we were on. For episode 23 of Geeky Girls Knit. Why do I have trouble saying that every week?
It's sort of an alliteration.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Only 2 words of it are alliterative, but...
Yeah, it just doesn't want to work.
Is that even a word, alliterative?
I don't know, but I think if it's not, you just made up a good word.
Yes.
We thank you for watching. We are so thankful for all of our returning viewers who come back week after week. Yes, we give you a hand. And we're very thankful for our new viewers. We've had several new people join the group this week, so we appreciate that. If you want to find us online, the best way is to go to our webpage, which is Geeky Girls Knit, GeekyGirlsKnit.blogspot.com, and there you'll find links to everywhere else we are. Blip TV, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, Twitter, our Ravelry group, which is the most active place that we are, our individual Ravelries and Twitters, email. If we're on it, it's on that website. So check it out. Come join the Ravelry group if you haven't, because we still have the giveaway going on for when we get to 100 members.
And we know what we're going to give you.
Yes, we do.
We didn't know when we started, but we know now.
We do. In fact, some of the prizes are just on the other side of Damaris. Don't show them.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to tell you, but they're good.
I'm not going to tell you.
Nope. And I think that's about it for this week. We'll be back next week with episode 24. And we can't wait to see you. Have a great week. Happy knitting. Peace. Bye-bye.